Okay, okay. All right. Today, what I'm here to talk about is the big, that's 10, five biggest focus mistakes that creatives make and how to fix them. Now, before I even get started, what I'm about to say today is going to completely blow your mind because of the simplicity, and it's also going to change your life forever. So, if you're not ready for your life to change forever, you probably want to just turn it off now because I'm not gonna, what do you call it? There's a phrase here. Um yeah, blanking on it. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna be the same after this. And I'm not going to apologize for that. So we'll get started. We'll just get started. The number one focus mistake, actually, we'll start at number five. Start at number five. We'll go backwards. So, number five biggest mistake that creatives make, and you might want to take notes on this. I don't want to just be talking to myself and people not taking notes. I need you to be taking notes and following along because this is life changing information that I'm giving you. So if you have multiple tabs open or you're watching this somewhere where you can't take notes, um, focus on just this. Just hear my voice, which leads to my first point. The fifth biggest mistake that creatives make when it comes to focusing is allowing distractions. Now, what do I mean by that? If you are constantly being interrupted by emails, social media, phone calls, and other distractions, it can severely impact the ability to maintain focus and complete difficult tasks, or even simple tasks. It just it makes you so inefficient. And here's why: there is this thing called focus residue or attention residue. And when you get distracted, it takes on average 22 to 24 minutes to get back on task. Now, I just want you to think about the numbers for a minute here. If I work an 8-hour day and I get distracted, you're looking at me doing the math. I said I need you to do the math. So you get distracted 8 times in a day. Like that's one time per hour. You've only worked 4 hours because it's taking you, is that right? Just half your day is gone to distractions and trying to get back on task. And how many times do you check your social media? So great. Now you know that allowing distractions is a mistake. So how do you fix this? Well, I'm not really going to tell you why because I don't have time to tell you, or I'm not going to tell you how because I don't have time to tell you how, but I'll tell you why you need to do something about it. Because if you're always distracted and you're always allowing yourself to be distracted, then you won't be able to really do anything that you really want to do because you're going to have that same story that everyone tells themselves that I just don't have the time, or I'm just not that kind of person, or I'm just going through the motions. And there's a whole host of excuses that we go through to, you know what, I wasn't going to, I have to tell you how to fix it because I can't just leave you here with these mistakes and not tell you how to fix them. So, all right, I'll be generous today. The first one, you're going to want to create a distraction free environment. So, a quiet workspace, turn off non-essential notifications. Like if it's your wife and kids, or you have something you're supposed to be keeping track of outside of the work or outside of your task, like there's settings on your phone where you can allow certain people, like you can have different focus modes. I know on iPhone anyway. I don't know about Android. I'm not knocking y'all. I just don't know how it works. So I know on iPhone you can create different focus modes and you can have different people that you allow in. Um, and let other people know about your focus time. I know that in Apple, you can have certain people that you let know that you're focusing. And I don't know if you've ever messaged someone on an iPhone, but it'll let you know so and so's in focus mode or so and so's on do not disturb. And that'll let you know whether you really need to send that message or not to that person. And it'll filter it out for you. It's so great what technology can do for you today. So, distraction free environment. Um, a really cool one. Um, uh, is using a focus tool. So like something like there's apps like Freedom, Stay Focused, Forest, that can block distracting websites and help you stay on track. But my favorite, I don't like to put too many more things into my things. I just open one tab and focus on that one thing that I'm doing until it's done. But the way that I do it the best is by using pomofocus.io. It is a Pomodoro timer. Now, let me talk to you about the concept of a Pomodoro timer. So, a Pomodoro timer is this is the original, and it's really annoying. So, if you like the aesthetic or sound, the sound of this thing clicking the whole time, making you feel anxiety, then by all means, go get a little tomato. But the concept is that a Pomodoro timer is crap. Now I can turn it off. That's cool. You're gonna hear the ticking. We're gonna hear the ticking. Tiffany's gonna take care of the ticking. So if you break your workday up into intervals of 25 and 5 or 50 and 10, so 25 minutes of focused work, 5 minutes of whatever you want to do. Go get some water, go get a refill of water, go stretch, do some yoga, whatever you want to do for that 5 minutes. Or if 25 minutes is, if that's when you're just now getting into your groove and you think that's going to interrupt you, then do 50. But that 10 minutes, as soon as that thing goes off, walk away, get up, move from your desk, go for a quick walk, stretch, sing a song, listen to your favorite song, jump up and down, do some jump rope, do some push ups, sit ups, squats, whatever. Whatever you do, get up and move. But during that focus time, the only thing you should be focused on is that one thing you're working out. Now you can do tasks. So what happens is like there's different tasks. So you can let's say you have a million things you want to do. You can break it down to one task each. Like, what should I be working on? And you can estimate the number of Pomodoros. So, two Pomodoros in the 25 is an hour. One Pomodoro when it's the 50. You know math. I'm not going to mansplain. So, estimate how much time it's going to take you to do it and then do it. What you'll find, and what I found with this was that I actually got a lot done in 25 minutes when I'll turn the timer on and then like I'll do it on my phone. And then while it's counting on my phone, nothing else can come through because the only thing that matters on the phone is a timer. So now I see that. I have multiple screens everywhere. I don't know, you can't see them, but screens everywhere. The multiple screen thing is what's killing our attention span. That and endless scroll. So I take my screens on the sides down to desktop only, and then I only focus on the one thing I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I'm lying to you right now because there's other things on these screens, and that's why I keep looking left and right. So let me get down to desktop. Oh, yes, this is not sponsored by Pomofocus.io. So if you have another tool that works better for you, or like if you want to just set a timer for yourself, cool. Don't have to use Pomofocus.io. They're not paying me to say that. So cool. And then lastly, set boundaries. So if you establish clear boundaries with your colleagues, your friends, your family about your work hours and availability, this will help you to embrace the focus that you need. Now, that's number 5. That's the 5th biggest mistake is allowing distractions. So This kind of it's so beautiful when it like just flows. Um, Not taking breaks. It's number four, not taking breaks. So five, allowing distractions. Four, not taking breaks. I'm not going to go over and reiterate. When you work for long periods of time and you don't take breaks, that's what leads to burnout or decreased productivity or poor mental health. And you know, mental health is a big buzzword, but think about when mental health started becoming the big buzzword. 2020. What happened to 2020? Everyone started working from home. And in the beginning, what happened was it was amazing because you could get more work done because, well, I don't have a life now, so I can work more. And while that was great for you to get more work done, you weren't getting paid more money for that work. And what the company saw was, oh, they're more productive from home. And so they came to expect that. And then when you realize you haven't moved from your desk in like 12, 17 hours, and now they expect that much productivity from you, you're burnt all the way out. And now nobody wants to work at all or work from home or anything. Um, so yeah, the Pomodoro timer is a fix here too. Like, don't allow distractions and make sure you take your breaks. So the Pomodoro timer is a technique that will help um, in take making sure you take your regular breaks, and then like either when you're taking your break or after work or at some point during the day, just try to engage in some kind of relaxing activity. Um, so, like I said, you can use your break times for those activities, or you can meditate, clear your mind, focus on your breathing, slow, deep inhales through your nose, holding it in for like they call it box breathing, but if I'm looking at like 6, 4, 6, and 4, that's a rectangle to me because like it would be 6, 6, 6, and 6 or 4, 4, 4, and 4 to make a box, but it's just my brain. Yeah, rectangle breathing. So in for 6 through the nose, hold it for 4, out for 6. Make sure you make noise on the exhale because for some reason that helps. I don't know the science behind it, but it does help. And then hold for 4 and then bring it and do that 10 times. You'd be amazed like how much our brains will start racing when we haven't had a deep breath. For me, I'm a kinesthetic learner or like someone that has to have their brain and body engaged. And so walking, stretching, just moving my body, I come up with better ideas. I just feel better all the way around. So that's number 4. Why is Bank of America calling me? They'll leave a message. All right. So next, and these, I noticed how these mistakes all kind of bleed into each other. Ineffective time management. So if you don't manage your time right, you can miss deadlines. Your stress levels are definitely going to go up. You won't be as productive, and you can do you can end up overcommitting and how to put this failing to plan is planning to fail. So if you're not managing your time, then you're just planning to fail. Like it's like you might as well just have a plan to fail. So creating a schedule, planning your day in advance, and usually I suggest planning the day the next day, the night before. That way, when you wake up, that's one less decision you have to make. Um, now, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to contradict myself because I hate this, but having specific time slots for activities is great if that's the kind of person you are. But if you're a rebel like me, if you have time slots for specific things, you're going to go against them. So maybe have loose, like, this is what I need to get done today, but I'm not going to judge how it gets done today as long as it gets done today. If that includes me laying on the floor crying like a baby at some point and going to play video games for 20 minutes because I can't brain anymore, that's cool. We'll do what works for you. So create a schedule that works for you. Use a task management system. Google Sheets, Excel have templates that you can turn into like a project tracker, so you can do, figure out what thing you're working on at a time, like one thing at a time that you're working on. You have Trello, Asana. Um, you can just do old school. I don't even, wow, have to do lists everywhere. And for some reason, well, they turn into like a bunch of little oh, there it is. To do list, good old to do list. You couldn't see that, it was blurred. But yeah, some to-do list, it just something to keep track of what you're doing. And like the the beauty of a to-do list is it's so simple, right? You can just create a to-do list and put the top thing at the to-do list to check off, make it create a to-do list, and then you have one checked off already. And like you're already winning and it feels good. It's like a dopamine hit. And so you get that first hit and you're like, yes. And then prioritize task. So like, what order do I need to do this in? Like I can't do them all at once. I can't, divide my attention between everything on my list and do a little bit of each one. That's going to take so much more time than just like knocking out this one, then knocking out this one, then knocking out this one. So you can use like an Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. So imagine you've got this, man, I wish I had a whiteboard here to show you because that one's all full of stuff. And can I? All right. So you've got four quadrants. You've got urgent, not urgent, important, not important. And so on that matrix, you can figure out what needs to get done first and what can wait. All right. I'm taking way too much of your time here, but I just want to make sure I'm clear and I'm thorough on these mistakes. If you just eliminate these mistakes, you can get so much further. And I hope this is bringing you value. And I've got some bonuses for you actually. So stay tuned till the end. Number two, lack of clear goals. So we hear this buzzword all the time, especially if you're in corporate. Set SMART goals. What are SMART goals? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Now that sounds really good, even looks good on paper, but it's really hard to be specific when you don't know what you want. It's hard to measure when better is I just want better. I don't know what better looks like. I just want better, right? Achievable. How do I know if it's achievable? I don't even know what I'm capable of when I'm setting this goal, right? Or maybe I do, but how do I know it's achievable? Right? Relevant. How do I know it's relevant? And what is time bound? Like, how do I know how long it's going to take me to do it? Like these are so cliche. It's so much jargon. Here, let me help you. SMART goals for me look a little like this. I have a goal, and if that goal's too big, I give my goal a goal. And if that goal's too big, I give that goal a task. And if that task isn't enough, then I give it a list of tasks. And then guess what I do? I work on one task at a time until that little goal's finished. And then when those are done, I've got so much dopamine from checking all those things off that I got momentum. And when I've got momentum, I can keep moving. Um, and that goes into my next point, which is dividing larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. And you'll make progress not only more tangible, but less overwhelming. Let me get where are we at? We're on YouTube, right? Yeah. Let me get a comment. Yes, please, on the less overwhelmed. And then like regularly review this. Like keep track of your progress because it's nice to keep track of your wins. It's nice to keep track of where you're at and adjust your goals as needed so that you can stay aligned with your overall objectives. All right, who's ready for number one? And this is going, look, they're not ready for it. I think I can leave right now and leave you on a cliffhanger because and Do that to you. All right, so here we go. The number one mistake that creatives make when it comes to focus is, can I get a drum roll? What am I gonna say? Put in the comments. What am I gonna say right now? What am I gonna say right now? Put it in the comments. If you guessed multitasking, you're absolutely right. If you're trying to juggle multiple things at the same time, guess what you do? Your efficiency and your quality of work go down because it fragments your attention, and the likelihood of making a mistake goes way up. Now, check this out. This is so funny. Everyone will tell you that multitasking is better. But if you think about it for a minute, if I'm constantly dividing my attention, now remember what I said about attention residue. If I'm constantly dividing my attention between 5 or 6 different things, or even 2 or 3 different things, I'm constantly distracting myself and I'm wearing down on my energy faster because I'm trying to do more than one thing all at once. And then nothing actually gets done because by the time I've gotten like a quarter of the way through 2 to 5 things, I'm drained. And I don't even know what's going on because I keep having context switch. Like if I'm working on an Excel spreadsheet and then I'm doing this Word document over here, and then I'm checking emails over here, and then I'm checking my social media over here, and then I'm texting family over here. Like there's so many different contexts and things going on and decisions being made. That's a whole nother subject for another day, but the decisions alone. That's why I said, like, when you're preparing for your day the day before, what you're doing is you're taking away some of the decisions you have to make. The less decisions you have to make in real time, the better it is for you to have the maximum amount of attention. So, um, this goes back to things I was talking about earlier. Just prioritize your tasks, right? Work on one task at a time. Let me say that again. Work on one task at a time. Okay, I'll say that one more time because I don't think you're tracking. One task at a time, starting with the most critical. And then use time blocking. So if you use time blocks that work for each task and only focus on that task during its designated time, and then you designate those times to the times when you're most effective. Like I'm a mid afternoon to night owl. So my ideal schedule, if I could just get on it and stay on it, would be 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Still leaves me 8 hours of sleep, but that's my most productive times. I want with every fiber of my being to be a morning person because the early bird gets the worm, but the worm got up early and look what happened to him. So why can't I just be the bird? Wait, no. I don't want to be the early bird or the worm. I don't like what happens to them. I want to be the Tasmanian devil. Just off doing whatever I want to do. All right. And then that right there was a distraction. So eliminate distractions, turn off your notifications, create that distraction free work environment. Help you to maintain the focus on the task at hand. Now, why am I giving you these gems right here? Like what's the point, you ask? Well, I at one point, and still sometimes today even, struggle with focus. So like it has taken me so long. I've had this story to share with the world. I've had these things that this I've had this value to bring to you. And because I couldn't focus, because I kept coming up with new ideas, because I kept thinking about, oh, I know I'm supposed to be focusing on this one thing, but I got an idea for this new thing. And then my wife would ask, like, how can I help you? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna focus on this thing right now. And I give her something to work on, and she's in the middle of working on it and getting it laid out for me and doing all these things to help. And then I come in her office and I'm like, hey, I've got this idea. We're gonna do this thing. She's like, okay. that doesn't fit into this. So how how does this work with this? It doesn't. We're not doing that anymore. Let's do this. And after about, I want to say 17 or 18 times of doing that, I'm sorry, babe. After doing that so many times, she looked like she hadn't got sleep in 6 months. It just looked like I drained every last ounce of the joy in her. And I don't like the way that looks. And I don't like the fact that I was the one that did that to her. And so the reason I do this to you is because I know you have people you care about in your family. And I know that you have people that you care about around you. And if you don't have people that you care about around you, you should, because this is not fair for us creatives to be that burden on other people. We have to be either responsible enough to focus on what we need to focus on or courageous enough to hire the people that can help us. And I might even beg that you want to do both. Learn to focus because anything is a habit, right? You can create whatever you want to create when you want to create it. All you have to do is be consistent. Now, I've put together this focus mastery workshop, and the link should be in the comments below. So if you need help and you need a clarity session or a focused action plan or belief reframing or vocabulary reprogramming, that is what the Focus Mastery Workshop is for. So I would love, first off, thank you for spending the last 30 minutes with me. Because if you're still watching now, that lets me know you're serious about your focus and about taking back the reins on the most important currency that you have, which is your attention. There's a reason that social media is free because you're the product and your eyeballs are what they're paying for. If they pay you to create on social media, just know that's a, I don't know, 0.01% of what they're making off of your eyeballs. And you really don't have the money to compete with advertisers. They put a lot more money into your eyeballs than you do. And so turn off the TV, turn off the Netflix, get focused because your dreams, they're not getting to you any faster and no one's going to do it for you. So sign up for the Focus Mastery Workshop. Let me guide you. Let me give you a personalized plan to help you realize your dreams and finally get the results that you deserve. I look forward to seeing you in the class. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, be bold, be courageous, but most importantly, be you.